Brenda Maeda. And wow, Brenda, you have done such an amazing job on the Breakthrough M2 weight loss program. We have been watching your journey for a couple of months now and through all the steps, and it has just been awesome. And you have been such a positive influence on Paige, and I'm sure to people in your circle where you are. And is it New York City?
No, I'm in the suburbs in Westchester. So,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm sure you've been made quite the impact there as well. So thank you. Thank you for, really committing to yourself, first of all, but then the process as well. So can you just give us a little bit of background about dieting, what it's been like in your life?
I was born in Guatemala. So I got to the United States at the tender age of 15, and I was 120 pounds. But I discovered all the junk food, all the craziness. So I started to put in the weight quite fast. So from there, for years, I put on at least 40, 50 pounds through high school. And learning later on in life, it's because of all the junk that's in the food, because we were naturally eating organic. So then it just became a yo-yo. I will diet, I will try the shakes, Slim Fast, I think. Started when I was a teenager, but I was active, so it didn't bother me. And in my 20s, I went to a weight loss doctor, and I lost a lot of the weight, but my mind still saw this fat girl. So I was actually a little thinner than I am now, but I, struggled with that. Little by little, the weight crept up until about, I would say 10 years ago, it really got to a really high point where I was so tired. I was in so much pain. I woke up one day with my leg was just numb and tingling. And then welcome to Inflammation 101. I had sciatica. Then I just was living in pain, working in pain, and I was sitting between clients so that I would do the next client.
Yeah.
Wasn't being, it was terrible. I just was not in a good place. And the worse I felt, the more I dragged to the sweets or whatever to reward myself. That was just the pattern. I did something great, I will reward myself. It just kept, building up until one day I was in so much pain. I went to see a acupuncturist, and he worked his magic. I jumped off the table and I said, I gotta move. Something's gotta get. This was about 5 years ago. And then I started to go to a new gym. Actually, I walked in there. I said, I know there's a gym. It's about 11:30. I need to go and I need to do something. And I got there, they were just opening, so they couldn't see me. They're like, oh, you got to come back tomorrow. And they were offering like a free trial. So I kept moving for a week, and I said, I'm not stopping. I kept going. And I did the best I could. I could barely move, but they were so lovely. And the support system, they kept encouraging me. And then they had programs to lose weight. So I will try it, lose 7 pounds, learn food prep, learn all this, but I was not eating the right foods to lose the vast amount of money I needed to lose. I was almost, I think at that point I must have been 190, 192, and I'm just 5 feet tall. So that's a lot on my joints. But most of my weight was in my stomach. So, I lost the weight. I was toning, but I was still not happy with what I saw every day. But something has shifted. I had the mindset, I can do this. I'm not going to stop, whatever it is. And I just kept going. And then I was in a bad relationship for a long time. So part of it was also the sabotage, someone telling you you're not good enough. And he was a gaslighter or a narcissist, all the names. It doesn't matter, Whenever I had a little success, he always found ways to put me down. So finally, one day I just, I ended that. And I said, I gotta keep going. So I removed all that negativity out of my life. And that's when I started to focus again. I tried again. I was eating healthy, but I still was not losing the weight. Eating a little bit here and there. And then I went back to another medical doctor. And then they started to find out there were so many issues, like thyroid issues. I had COVID. So then I had inflammation. So, they told us not to move. I got it before the vaccine. So it was pretty scary. I didn't know how out of shape I was. I wasn't in the hospital. My breathing was horrible. It attacked my immune system. I lost hair. It was pretty scary. So coming out of that, I had a client that came into the salon and I saw that she was losing weight rapidly. So I said, what are you doing? So then she said it was a medical doctor. So I started going, and that's how they discover all these issues. It was pretty expensive. Some of the medicine was not covered. They put me on medicine. Reluctantly, they put me on diet pills. I did not want it. I hate how I felt, that out of body experience, almost like you're not yourself. Then I had to take diabetes medicine, my high sugar. My mom is a pre-diabetic. So I was like, I'm not going that road. I need to do something, so I really applied myself. And I put a lot of effort and work, exercise, and still, it was kind of like, oh my God, I can't do this. I felt so deprived. How much more can I take away? And then I was eating the protein bars, whatever to supplement, because I knew I needed to stay consistent. I read books. I did that. So at this medical office, they have the SSG diet. That's kind of what the drops are based off. What is it called?
Oh,
But, so I actually did do the injection,
Mm-hmm.
and I did the mink injections too. So I got really thin, but still, I was doing the diet, but I wasn't measuring food, even though I already knew that. They just said, eat this, and, but there was no after. So I got to almost the weight that I am now, but slowly went up again. Then the holidays came, and I'm like, I can't keep doing this to myself. I'm tired of this. I am forcing myself to go to the gym because I know it's good for me. But, I just didn't have the energy. It was a mental fog. And I kept putting it on stress, all these other things. And I had a lot of information. It was just cluttering my head. I couldn't put thoughts together. I was surviving, even though I was doing the right things. I just couldn't focus. I'm just starting to come out of that. And it's been a journey. The drops help. I think the homeopathic ones, because you really, you don't want to be in my brain. It's kind of like that 2-lane highway during rush hour.
Yeah, I totally get that.
So at this point, I had another client that came in, and she told me, oh, yeah, I lost weight. She looked great. I was like, what are you doing? And I knew that she tried to be healthy, but she used to drink and, party. But then she looked amazing. Her skin looked great. And I said, what are you doing? She goes, oh, these drops. And at that point, I was ready to transition out of the doctor's office because I was spending, you don't even want to know how much money I spent.
I know.
And, I don't regret it. It brought me to where I am. But I just didn't want them telling me there was something else wrong. It was like, oh, this is wrong. You got to do blood work. I got tired of being poke and probe. I said, at some point, I just have to accept who I am and just live. And not be worried, oh my God, I have to change medicine. It was just too much. So reluctantly, I looked at the drops and I started to do my research. And because I had done that other diet, I understood the diet and I knew that it worked because I had done it with the actual injections. But, I have to show you, I had a tray of pills. I had to take all these supplements. 5-6 pills with each meal, plus things before bed, plus things when I got up, plus my medicine. And I was pretty good at organizing. I had all these pill bags, and I said, oh my God, it's like an old lady. And then I used to tell myself, well, either supplements or medicine, choose your bag, but you just have to do it. So then I started the program, and it was so much easier because I already had some foundational things. But you guys have so much information. The support, it's amazing. The Facebook page, it's incredible. People getting vulnerable. And for the first time, I was able to, I've done therapy. So, this is like therapy, but in a different way, right? Because we all use food for different things. And just to be honest with myself and say it's okay to be vulnerable and say, hey, I'm having a bad day. I can't pinpoint what it is. I'm just going to shove some chocolate. Okay, I feel better. And then it's like a roller coaster.
Yep.
And then, having those talks with yourself and say, okay, this is worth it. You're worth it. You can do this. The food doesn't define you. These things, it's not a reward. It's a punishment in the end because you're still damaging. I did it. It took longer because I was rediscovering so many things like my blood type. I'm still like, I have another call with Coach Diane because I'm completely off transition and now I'm like 3 or 4 pounds heavier than when I stopped. And I'm like, that's my battle now. It's like trying not to beat myself over it. So just learning that for type O, certain things, like I reintroduced dairy. Dairy is not going to be my friend. So I have to take it on. And it tastes so good. So I'm like, all right, now you know this. Finish off what you have in the fridge and just, you know. And coffee, I can't believe it. That was my only comfort, but I've been dabbling with coffee substitutions and I'll find the answer. But these are smaller compromises that I have to make to maintain. But also at the same time have acceptance, like, okay, so if you screw up one day, it's fine. You got the tools, just go out there and, fight your battle. It's fine. You're not gonna die. It's not a roller coaster. You're not gonna balloon again. So this is just resetting that negative pattern, that's been so ingrained.
Absolutely. How much did you lose and how long?
So it was about 70 something days. I lost 23 pounds.
Okay, 23 pounds in about 70 days.
Yes.
Okay, very good. And one of the things that you wrote down, you said a habit that you changed or became aware of during this process. You were saying food prep and measuring. Was there anything else besides that?
Just being more in tune, as I started to focus, like checking in with myself, like, okay, what's going on today, before you reach out to whatever it is to satisfy that need that you don't know what it is, figure out what it is. So meditate, I think I became more involved with meditating. I was already doing some praying, I'm building my relationship with God more. So I started that in the morning, and that's also been almost like food for spirit, right? So now I know I have to feed the body, but also feeding the spirit is important. So that's another habit that I was already on the way, but I'm solidifying now.
Yeah, so yeah, later more often. I was just going to say that the meditation is such a huge thing because stress highly affects your blood sugar levels, which when that happens, you crave more sugary stuff naturally because your blood sugar levels drop because the body starts grabbing sugar out of the blood quickly to give you the energy that you need to quickly move and do something because the innate body sees stress as fight or flight. So either way, either you're going to fight or you're going to fly, you need to have the extra energy now. So if you're under any stress, your blood sugar levels get drained quickly, and then you feel like you have to bring them back up again when that stress is over. And it's so interesting because people in our, world right now, 99% of the time, we are not under fight or flight, but we have that low grade, just continual thing beneath the surface at times that really just affects us. So to add in the meditation and to unplug from the crazy and just to sit and be for a little bit, is really, really good. It's good for the body, good for the soul, good for both. I have to say, I started out meditating when I was a few years ago, but I would start out with like guided meditations just off of YouTube, just to get me in a place where I could at least sit and be. I might have been thinking about other stuff, but at least I was sitting, and that practice of doing that for 20 minutes a day really helped me get better and better at it, which, is so important. And making that connection between body, mind, and spirit is so important. And I'm so glad to hear that you are really working on that part of the journey now, because once you get the weight off, it does help bring clarity and helps you stop with all the mind crazy chaos of beating yourself up, feeling guilty, feeling shameful, feeling hopeless, feeling confused, all of the crazy. All right, so if I could just lose some of this weight, some of that crazy just like stopped, and you're like, okay, I just got a breather, and that's just awesome. What are some of the things you can do now that you couldn't do before?
Just being more accepting of myself because, it's still, I'm struggling in the mirror, but just saying, okay, stop it, and just being more accepting. I think that, and not being so hard on myself.
Yes.
I mean, I was already doing that, but it was kind of just a front because I was my worst critic, that inner voice. Oh boy. That's one of the things I'm doing now, being more gentle with myself, but it's giving me more compassion towards other people because I can see right through whatever they're saying, and instead of being judgy, I can just say, okay, it's not their time. When their time is, and being okay with that and not, taking their stuff as my stuff. Because I used to do that all the time. And being an empath and working in the service industry, it is so easy to just take people's stuff. That's one of the things I'm just kind of separating from, it has nothing to do. But I feel bad if I can give some advice. I do. Otherwise, just listening, that's all sometimes we need. Right. So,
Right. That's a really big aha moment, quite honestly. Everybody has their level of helping and wanting to help other people. I do believe that women in the service industry have an even higher ability for that. And that is why they kind of made their way to service industry, because that fulfills something in them, right? And this is, I have always said this, and this is why we see so many overweight doctors, nurses, ambulance people, like all those, those workers in the psych meds, in the psych places, all of them just, they're constantly taking in, everybody else's issues or problems or emotions, and they just don't know what to do with them. And after a while, it just becomes like a wall to try to protect themselves. And the body is the last place to have all this stuff manifested.
yeah.
Let's look at what's going on the inside and what you're doing with the incoming and the outgoing energy, right? Like what's happening. Really big deal for a lot of people. And you're right, the service industry it's notorious for people who are empaths and really do want to help others, but don't know how to manage the incoming. And by you just saying that, just being a listener and not taking that stuff home with you, that's their life. Nothing you can do about it. You can be a listener, right? And we have to know where our boundaries are and how far we are going to be able to help and where our energy is being dispersed, right? So it's really great. That's really great. You did say that one of your biggest aha moments was that your cravings were based on emotional needs. You talked about that and that you were able to connect the dots, right? That was really great. Great question. Where are you going from here? What kind of goals do you have now?
Just continue to eat healthy and learn to celebrate the small victories, and it could be anything. I mean, I think what you guys do, the non-scale victories are amazing, because it could be something that, boom, it just happened least expected. This morning, I was at the gym and my coaches have seen that, I'm leaner and stronger. So they're partnering me up with younger. Most people don't believe that I'm 48. Again,
That's a non-scale victory. Good one.
No, and now I'm like, oh my God, I really have to put in my weight on these things and being able to do a plank. I'm moving plank and I'm like, oh, I was able to do the whole set. I didn't have to stop. I didn't have to just hold. I was lifting, doing the kettlebell swings, and I'm saying to myself, "Oh, I'm coming for you, Blue," which is the next size up. And just like yes, and just feeling that strength that I can do this. I've been doing it all along. I just didn't believe it. So
Yeah,
that's where I'm at. Continuing on, reprogramming that negativity. That whatever I was told is not true. It's a lie.
yeah,
And I can find the truth within myself if I listen to myself. I have to shut down the outside.
yeah.
That's interesting. Reflect.
Yeah. That is awesome. One piece of advice you could give to someone who might be considering Breakthrough M2?
You can do it. It is simple, but if we really are at that last, rope and you just have to jump off for your life, you can do it. So this is your life, you have to do it. No one else can do it for you, but you can, and that's the good news.
Yeah, that's really funny. Yesterday I was doing some writing. I was listening to a couple different, inspirational things. I listened to a lot of Abraham Hicks and all that. But what came out for me yesterday was I just did this whole writing about the mission of what our company really is about. And we've always been about, we love seeing less of you, being funny. But at the same time, what we love about it is that for me personally, it was a life preserver. It was that thing that got thrown out to me that I was willing to grab onto, get pulled in. It literally gave me a feeling of being able to have a breather, almost like everything just stopped for a little while. I was able to get a hold of myself physically, which then really, moved up into my confidence level. How cool is it to buy whatever kind of clothes you want? Well, I mean, that's fun.
It is amazing. And I mean, I could definitely be somebody's stylist. I love shopping. So I had things in my closet that got tags that I was saying, one day, I'm going to stand up and show you what I have. This was my intricate outfit that I didn't get to wear because life happened. But it was one of those cutout dresses that, well, and I'm not wearing a stupid, I just have tights because we're going out later. So I'm like a night. But, these little dress, I bought it and I'm like, I'm going to wear it for my birthday. I think I did post a picture when that morning of my birthday, I tried it on and it fit.
Yeah.
I said, I was like, oh my God, those 3 pounds, they probably went to my hips. And so, just to be able to put on the dress and it's a little loose. And I think it's also because I'm working out. So I've done the M body. I don't know if you're familiar with that. So it's a scale that measures fat, muscle, water levels. And I should have used that last week when I finished the program, because then I will have, if I went today, it will tell me, well, you gained 3 pounds of muscle. Then I don't know. And that should not determine my value. I know that. I am finally admitting that I'm very competitive. I always be like, nah. But, even if the competition is with myself,
Yeah.
it's okay, and that's part of being hard on myself.
Well, the other thing too that I know just from being in the industry is that when people see it go up 3-4 pounds, they immediately just feel like, oh no, oh my God, it's not going to go in that direction again. Oh my God.
Right.
Like that kind of starts with them. But when they do start adding back in the gym and you start adding back in foods that are help building the body, back to where you're, you have muscle and your tone and all those things are happening. And yeah, it's definitely different. And it's really important just to keep focusing on how do my clothes fit and how do I feel. And, it's not so much about the scale at that point. It's definitely more about, okay, what do I look like now and how healthy am I? And I think that's a great idea that, the idea of having that type of a scale too, that helps your psyche. You know what I mean?
Right. And it also tells you when you're dehydrated, even though, okay, I know I have to drink this much water, but if you're dehydrated, that's, and then I'm probably starting menopause. They don't know yet. So that's another.
Yeah. Well, just a little side note for you with that. Have your hormone levels checked. I came down here to Florida and I was just always achy. I slept terrible. It didn't matter what I was eating, didn't matter what I was doing. It would not stop. I am in like perimenopause? Whatever it is. Whatever it is. So my chiropractor down here has a guy a husband-wife team that do bioidenticals.
Okay.
Bioidenticals mimic testosterone, estrogen, those types of things, and those hormones. So they checked my hormone levels, and testosterone in a woman my age that is healthy and balanced should be about 130 or one something. I don't even know.
Okay, something now.
It should be like up there, like in the hundreds, 130s, 140s, somewhere in there. Mine was 29.
Oh my God.
And, it's just from years of, just whatever we're exposed to and getting older, being in menopause. But it should definitely, there's a way to fix that. And when I started doing the bioidenticals, within a week's time, I didn't have any more of this, like no more pain, like soreness, my elbows, like extending my arms and all of that. It just all stopped. So the bioidenticals, I think they measured estrogen. My estrogen was a little too high. The testosterone was way too low, and the progesterone was out of whack as well. But as soon as I started getting that in balance, oh my gosh, it was a game changer. I don't know if they do that in New York, because New York is a little bit different with things they allow and offer and blah blah blah. They might do it in New Jersey. I don't know.
What is it called again?
Bioidenticals. Yeah. But anyway, little tip there. All right, my dear. So let's talk. You have your 3 I Ams and your affirmations about who you are now and where you're going. They're great. So your first one is, do you remember? Okay, your first one is I am worthy.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Next one. I am responsible for my food choices, not my environment.
Yeah,
Love that.
that is a huge one for me.
Yeah.
Because, it could go, I mean, we talk about this all the time. I'm of Hispanic culture. My husband is Brazilian. So we love to eat. We're happy we eat, we're sad we eat. So, knowing that doesn't have to be the case, that I can go somewhere and I don't have to participate on that. It's fine. So I take responsibility. No one can say, oh, you better eat this. And being okay with that because they shame you. They shame you. Like, I had to hear, like, do you have an eating disorder? You're getting too skinny. I mean, just like mind your business, and it's just like those things. So for me, it's like, okay, I decide what goes into my body, the foods that I pick. So that was,
And how long?
yes,
Right. And I don't need the cake. I understand it's your birthday, but no, thank you.
yeah, that was tough. But, like Coach Diane was so gentle. She's like, it's your birthday, have one slice, don't have two.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to tell you, one of my biggest aha moments with any kind of sugar was that it made me get hot flashes. Terrible.
Wow.
Yeah. So keep that in mind if you get there. Your last one, you said, I am complete. I have everything I need to be happy and healthy.
I have all the tools thanks to you guys and my hard work.
Yes. I know we always tell people we love the accolades, but you were the one who did all the work. And, those drops are amazing, but they certainly didn't make you eat right when you went to a restaurant. They didn't make you drink your water. They didn't make you prep your food. They helped out in lots of good ways, but if you didn't stick to the structure of the program, it would not have worked. It's definitely that 1-2 punch for sure to get the job done, but it's excellent. Okay, so however you would like to share your success, please do it.
I just want to thank you for creating such an amazing company. And it's not just about the company, but the person that you are and what you do for us. You didn't look like a personal trainer that's all shredded and said you could do this. That seems impossible. Not that this is not it's a compliment, but I hope you understand.
I take it.
Because sometimes it's a backhanded compliment. It's not that. You give hope to people that seem hopeless, because they've tried everything and you are so candid and honest. And I just love your personality. I just think it's amazing when I see videos and you make me laugh. You give me happiness and I'm like, yeah, that's great. If she can do it, I can do it. She's been through what I've been through. I love that. So just thank you for my success is your success as well, because whatever seeds you planted there. So thank you. And your team, they're great, just everyone's so behind. And I know it's a crazy world. And because I'm in the service industry, I know how hard it is to stay true to your statement. Mission statement hasn't changed.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And would you like to scream or yell or anything else? Or are you satisfied with our interview?
No, I'm satisfied. I don't have to.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you, Brenda. And we continue seeing your success, team breakthrough. And we will be in touch because you are an amazing human being. And we love staying connected with people that just love to share all that. So thank you.
You know what I would like? I know it's just an idea. In the future, if you guys do like a meetup or a group, you come to New York, we have past and present members to have like, I get together. I would love to be part of that. Because we all see each other on Facebook, but there's something about meeting in person.
That's funny. I used to do it for whatever other reasons we got away from it, but I did used to do that. And it was fun. We did it once a year. All right. So what we're going to do, just so everybody knows at the end of this video, we're going to put up your affiliate code, right? And if anybody uses your affiliate code on the website or when they call us, they're going to get a discount, and then you're going to get your $20 referral code as well. So that'll be at the end of the video, and it'll be out there for people to use if they are so inspired by you, which they will be.
Thank you so much. I appreciate everything.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, honey.